There are three relationships in life that define everything: your relationship with time, your relationship with yourself, and your relationship with money. Most people never talk about the last one. I certainly didn't when I moved from India to the UK with big dreams and very little understanding of how money actually works here back in 2015. Now 10 years down the line, my understanding and the way my mind think about money has completely changed. But here is what shocked me the most. The lessons I learned weren't from earning more money. They were actually from losing it all and starting again. Now why this is important? Because as an NRI, whether you realize this or not, money is probably one of the main reasons you left your home country. If you are a Bengali born and brought up in West Bengal in 1980s onwards and in the same age group as mine, money is definitely the main reason why you are away from home, like thousands of people like me. We Indians are economic migrants. As Indians, we are fortunate to have a country where there is no real war going on. We have good economic stability and strong family bonds. India is actually a great place to live if you have a lot of money. And honestly, I want to move back to India after my retirement or when I reach a stage in life where I don't have to work for money anymore. But here is the paradox: we leave the place we love to earn money so that we can actually return to the place we love. That contradiction shaped every financial decision I made for the next decade. If you are new to my channel, hello, my name is Suman and I work as a doctor in the UK. I was born and brought up in a town called Burdwan, which is a small town in West Bengal, India. My father had a job in a bank with frequent transfers, so we spent some time in Gaya, Bihar, and sometime in Agartala, Tripura. So I spent some of my childhood years in Gaya in Bihar before I got into a residential school in a place called Narendrapur in Kolkata. It was a great school and I was fortunate enough to grow up with some really intelligent people who would eventually go on to become state toppers and even national toppers. I was never a great student, certainly not amongst the toppers, and not too serious about my studies as well. When I moved to class 11 and 12, that's when things change. In this stage of my life, I realized that I had to study hard because as a middle class Indian, your only career option back in 1990s and 2000 was to either become a doctor or an engineer. How you decide between these two career options? It was very simple. If you are good in maths, then you would become an engineer and you will aim for IITs. If you are good in biology, better than in maths, in that case, you will try to become a doctor and go to a medical college. This was my simple thought process back in those days, and it was the standard way of thinking amongst many people. Little did I know, this binary thinking about careers would later teach me everything about money. This is the phase of my life when I studied really hard and scored a good rank of 72 in the state joint entrance examination, which was the entrance examination for medical school, and I secured a spot in Calcutta Medical College, which was the most prestigious medical college in our state. By now, I had developed a thinking process that you have to excel in exams to become wealthy in life. I didn't have much idea about businesses because no one in my family did business. So the only way of making big in life was get a degree, then specialize in some fancy surgical specialties like heart surgery or neurosurgery, and you will make a lot of money in life. But here is where my first money lesson hit hard. After passing out of medical college, I had to study for 1 year at home to get into specialist training. This was a phase where I studied really hard because unless I got into a MD MS training, I had no way of career progression. At this stage, my father had already retired from his job, so earning money became an important part of my life in this stage of my career. I cracked the postgraduate entrance exam in my first attempt and entered MD training training for pulmonary medicine or respiratory medicine in Kolkata. This was the stage when my understanding of money started developing, and it wasn't what I expected. I came to the realization that you don't have to specialize in fancy surgical specialties, for example, cardiac surgery or neurosurgery, if you were serious about earning money early in life. Rather, you will likely be making a lot more money if you specialize in subjects like radiology, dermatology, orthopedics, etc. Also, your medical skills has nothing to do with how wealthy you become in life. This realization hit me like a truck. That's when I realized that earning money is important, but earning money earlier in life, that is in your early 30s, is more important than earning when you are in your late 40s. To develop wealth, you need to learn about money. And this is the phase of my life when I was earning around 25 to 30,000 rupees per month as stipend during my residency. And I started learning about money, started stock market investing in the Indian market, and observing how rich people are actually earning and spending their money. By this time, it was absolutely clear in my head that being a good doctor, cracking more and more exams, and more degree is not going to make me rich. After completing my MD in 2014, I had two options. Either I can continue to work in a government hospital in West Bengal and get paid something around 30 to 32,000 per month, or relocate to Delhi where the pay would be around 90,000 rupees per month. This was the first time in my life I chose money over family. I decided to move out of my comfort zone in Kolkata, away from my family, and the reason was purely financial. The next year in Delhi was a transformative period of my financial life. This was when I started investing decent amount of money in the stock market, and that money is still invested even to this day. I worked in one of the Max Hospital, which is a corporate hospital in Delhi, and it had the most fancy setup compared to the hospitals in Kolkata. And this is where you learn about rich or VIP patients. But then I realized something that would change everything again. To move to the next stage of my career, I needed UK or US experience, because all the senior consultants in these corporate hospitals had foreign experience. An opportunity came to go to the UK as the NHS was recruiting doctors with specialist experience from India, a route called MTI route, and I finally got a job offer in NHS. I moved to the UK in 2015, and the reason was purely financial. I had no option to go back to Kolkata as the pay was even half of what I was earning in Delhi back in those days. So I thought, if I have to stay outside Kolkata anyway, then the UK is better option than Delhi. I had a 3x income jump after coming to the UK, but here is what nobody tells you about moving abroad. The process of relocating to the UK, visa fees, initial rental deposit for your home, plus it took 6 weeks to get my first salary into a newly opened UK bank account, and I had my marriage within next 6 months. For all of this, whatever savings I had was all gone. So despite earning 3 times more, I had to start earning from scratch after I came to the UK. It just took me another 3 months to get back to the same savings that I had after working for India for 4 years. During this time, I spent a lot of time and resources in learning about the financial system in the UK, investments both in India and the UK, and starting from scratch financially in a new country forced me to really understand how money works. Over the next 10 years, I progressed in my medical career and eventually become a NHS consultant, bought a home in the UK, settled down with my family and become a father, set up this YouTube channel as a business, and most importantly, grown a community of like-minded people like you who want to take control of your own finances. But the real transformation happened when I discovered 5 truths about money that nobody had ever told me. The first truth is money is a tool for freedom, not status. In India, I was focused on becoming a successful doctor, the status, the recognition. But in the UK, I realized money's real power is giving you choices. The choice to work where you want, live where you want, and eventually the choice to return home on your own terms. And the real wealth is the money which is invested in assets and working to make me rich rather than make others rich. The second truth is financial education isn't taught. You must learn it yourself. Neither in medical school in India nor during my training in the UK did anyone teach me about ISAs, pensions, tax optimization, or investment strategies. I had to learn everything from scratch: how the UK tax system works, what a stocks and shares ISA is, how to build an investment portfolio, and this is the most important lesson for you if you are an NRI in the UK. In this country, you can't remain a salaried person no matter how high your salary is. If you want to become wealthy, you have to own businesses and other assets. Salary is the most inefficient way to become wealthy in UK. The third truth is, and this one changed how I invest. Early financial struggles can teach valuable lessons. Starting from zero in the UK, despite being a qualified doctor, taught me more about money management than earning a good salary ever did. When you have limited resources, you learn to be strategic about every financial decision. This experience shaped my risk tolerance with money, and it defines how I invest my money even today. The fourth truth that I learned is balance between earning and living is crucial. In India, the mindset was always earn more, work more. But now I consider time as a component of my pay package because I can earn money from my non-job related income if I just have more time. And these sources are actually better than my salary. They have better tax treatment and better chances of compounded growth. And the fifth truth is investment knowledge is essential for wealth building. Being a good doctor will give you a good salary, but investment knowledge will give you wealth. This is when I started seriously learning about ETF, diversification, compound interest, and building my investment portfolio that you see today. Here is some advice, and this is gold. Consider your salary to be your minimum monthly income rather than your only monthly income. This mindset shift changes everything. Today, I understand that money is a method to earn freedom. Freedom to work in the job you want, in the place you want, and at the time you want. But here is what I have learned about this freedom, and this comes from some hard truth about money. Money can give you two types of freedom. If you don't have much money, but you understand that life doesn't actually require that much to live well, then you are free. And if you have a lot of money, then you can actually do whatever you want with your life and your time. You are also free. The day you become truly free is the day money can't dictate what you do with your life. What money buys you is freedom. Don't waste money on buying things. Don't waste money on a fancy phone, fancy car, or a fancy £1,000,000 house. The most important thing money should do is to free you. If you have the world's most expensive car, the most expensive phone, the most expensive house, but still you are not happy, you are still under someone else's control. It could be your manager, your company. In that case, you don't have freedom. But if you have nothing in this world, no money, but you have your time, you have all the people you love around you, every person who wants to see you happy is close to you, then you are the richest person